Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Pyre Community RITE NITE, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. If you are interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, that is the place to be, and you can join that group by clicking on that link right there. For those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that, you'll find all the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, talismans, songs, arenas, even Titan stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let's hop into versus mode here, and let's get things started. So, is there anyone who would like to get us started for today? Just reset ourselves to our defaults here, and let me make sure I have Steam Friends on and all that stuff, what have you. Steam Friends, where are you? There you are. Okay. That looks good. There we go. I should be ready whenever you guys are. Anor can start. And Arumi can as well. Awesome. All right, let's get you two in here then. Oh, look at that. Both of you are at the top of the friends list as well. One right after the other. Beautiful. Making it nice and easy for me. You'll love to see it. And for Anor, I assume we're talking Nightwings today. For Rumi, what are you feeling today? What are you going to go for? Which triumvirate would you like to be? Nightwings for Nor, okay, gotcha. Dissidents for Rumi, okay. Let's get your stuff set up here. We have a Dissidents, we have a Nightwings. There we go. Reset song, okay. Anything else? Anor, I think... Oh, let me just double check if you have controls here, because you do not, but now you do. Pretty sure these are going to be the right ones, because I'm pretty sure that you were the last one playing on mouse keyboard last week. So we have a song all set here. Is there anything else we'd like for the first one? First match, that is. I suppose we could get started with just this. So why don't we hop in? Oh, and Barrick with a quick exiles request. Okay, just enough time for us to make this happen. Let's see.
Hello, exiles. You stand upon the glade of Liu. You are gathered to conduct this rite. Cling to whatever shred of hope you have. Prepare yourselves, Nightwings. Dissidents, stand ready. Now let us begin.
Alright, so it's Imp, Crone, and Sap, and Barrick says, whatever order you'd like. Whatever order you'd like. Oh dear, let the sus games begin. We shall see. Zanor leads off with the Sap. Whereas Arumi starts with a Crone. And I think in both cases, players are leading off with what is, in many cases, their preferred class. Anor, a renowned Sap player, and Arumi has said many times before, Crones are his preferred class. Yeah, it'll be interesting, because on one hand, you have players that can focus in on what is their preferred class and try to make that the centerpiece of their team. That could be the deciding factor. On the other hand, it could come down to those other two characters. How much can they make use of the ones that they are perhaps not quite as accustomed to or familiar with or fond of using? Then again, of course, imps are pretty common choices, so that's not too out of the ordinary. Arumi has not played in many moths, so, you know, just don't shine any bright lights in his general direction. Otherwise, he will find the irresistible urge to fly toward it, but on this occasion, he's flying toward the Pyre for a 25-point plunge. And he did put prayer beads on Bertrude, so she is back here. And perhaps looking to repeat that here, and does, no less. Arumi off to a very quick start here. It's like Lids, well, little did we realize, those Pyres, those are bright lights. And perhaps Arumi is attracted to them for that very reason. But here is Anor with a counterattack here, throwing it in for 30 with her Crone. Arumi too quick getting to the orb before Anor could lock it down with the sapling, and nearly got the score there, but was just a little bit off target with the jump. Here comes Anor. And yes, enough on this throw for 30. And that's the thing about those Crones. They score in such big chunks. It adds up very quickly. Anor. Chased down. Arumi in an advantageous position, but can't quite get the orb in time before going down to the banishment. Anor has a portal. Arumi saw it coming, though. Anor with Bertrude. Oh, sneaks past. Just enough time for the throw. And it's the full 30. That does drop Arumi down to 10 here. Now, of course, both players do have saps. So there is always the chance of rekindling here. How much rekindling did either player take? That I do not recall. But it means we will likely see a second life bar. Could be 10, could be 50. Depending on how much players invested in those masteries. Anor and Arumi playing a little cat and mouse game here. Oh, and maybe the Crone was a fake out. Anor was just trying to set up the sap play, but didn't quite have enough time to throw this one in. Now opportunity perhaps for Arumi here. Might have been able to go for the unblockable throw, but instead opted for the jump. Still has his Crone here. Oh, but Anor quickly gets over to the orb with the sap and stops Arumi from picking it up there. Big implosion from Arumi. The numbing gust is active, slowing down Arumi. But Arumi once again near the opposing Pyre, near the orb. Anor has a defender back and is able to stop Arumi with it. Anor now aggressively over to the other side, but not enough time for the throw. Arumi trying to move in with the sap over to his Crone. Opening perhaps. Oh, but it's just wide. Anor to the other side. Not quick enough. Numbing Gust will slow Arumi down here, but still has it with his Crone. Moving in. Oh, blocked. And banished. Arumi now getting rid of 2 out of 3 defenders. And looking to get it to his Crone. Oh, well-placed exploding sapling from Anor. And the sap goes down. Arumi perhaps waiting to get his Crone back, though. Still needs a few seconds for Bertrude to return. Here she is. Oh, for a second there, it looked like a bit of a hesitation move. It looked like Arumi was going to jump a little bit earlier than he did. But even with that delayed jump, Anor still able to stop him. Anor thinking about the portal. It's fairly aggressively placed here. But instead, opting for the point-blank sap throw. Still not enough time, though. Arumi with the portal play. Still going for the jump and still blocked. Now Anor. That attack is thwarted. Arumi, the numbing gust slowing him down, although actually it was a little bit of time before Anor was going to get someone back. Might have had enough time to make some kind of move there. Now Arumi with just 1 sap back defensively. The throw from Anor. And it triggers the rekindling, and it is the full 50. Arumi does eventually opt for the throw. We saw him go for the plunge on several occasions and was starting to get blocked quite regularly. But mixing it up, perhaps. Catching Anor a little bit off guard. Oh, and he uses the salute! The Crone salute turns all of Anor's exiles into defenseless howlers, but they can still explode. They're all gone here, which means Numbing Gust is active, so Arumi cannot sprint, and they will return in their usual form here. Oh, missed opportunity for Arumi. What is usually an automatic score, but just didn't quite work out there. Can he still find some way to make good of this situation? Of course, that is a one-time use ability, so you need to be really careful when you do pull it off, because there's no second chances. Oh, but Anor nearly makes it in there. Big explosion. Arumi gets rid of the orb. Gets rid of one defender. Gertrude has returned. Moves in with her. Is it a jump or is it a throw? Goes to the jumping route, gets blocked and banished. Anor now. Her sap is down. Her crone is down. Everyone is down for Anor. But Arumi does not have the orb and is not near the opposing Pyre, and so, with Numbing Gust active, can't make much of that situation. Anor now with her sap. Arumi loops around the other way. The throw this time, it is unblockable. But it was short, so Nor's still able to get it. Oh, big explosion from Arumi. Gets his crone back as well. Oh, well-placed exploding sapling from Anor. Safe place, perhaps, for Anor to throw that orb from with her sapling. But Arumi gets it back here, at least temporarily. Crone versus Crone. And Arumi wins that duel, but does trigger Numbing Gust once again. That has been a very big factor for Anor. That looks like that's out of range for Arumi, and Anor explodes the sapling on the Crone nonetheless. Arumi goes for the jump! And it is rekindling. It's 20, actually, from the rekindling talisman rather than a rekindling mastery. Arumi, oh, just enough room to nab that orb. And avoids the exploding sapling as well. Can he go all the way with this Crone? Not quite. Anor with Gertrude. Trying to find the right angle. Oh, and speeds past. Throw is unblockable, and she does get it off. And it lands here for 30. That means we are tied at 20 Pyre life apiece. Next score will likely win it. No rekindling left. Both players on their second life bars here. Could this be the moment? And it is. GG.
A stroke of fortune ought to be thanked. Thus end this night's proceedings.
Whew. Oh, man. I don't know if we were ready for that one to start things off today. That was quite the match.
Until the next rite.
All right. Well, how do we follow that one up? We have our song set for this, but other than that, anything and everything could be claimed here. So let us know if there is anything we'd like to see. And now thinking back to Amperic saying, oh, I hope this matchup, or this setup, is going to make for a close match, and, well, I think it certainly was. Log champ indeed. All right, anything else we'd like to see here for this next one? Or will that be all? Just the song, perhaps? I suppose so. All right, this time at the pit.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Only thing we have here is a song request, so you're free to take whatever you'd like, team composition-wise. And there are certainly many directions one can go in here at the pit. Pun partially intended. Arumi goes for a speedy crone, or rather a speedy harp, whereas Anor goes the savage route. But Anor then follows with a speedy harp of her own. No, Barrack, I was referring to how players can bounce off the walls rather than just going straight into the pyre. Oh, and Bertrude as well there. Okay, so a crone to round things out for Nor. A plunging crone, no less, with prayer beads. See how Arumi responds here. Had been a bit of a mirror match up to that point, but looks like Arumi may break that pattern here. Rather than following with a crone, going for an extra hope Jody instead. Alright, so let's see how we fare this time round after an extremely close match last time round. Anor with Bertrude. Oh, was that off the wall? It might have been. It was very close to the wall when she initiated the jump, so it was a little hard to tell. But I wouldn't rule that out, and she is certainly going off the wall with that throw attempt. Let's see if Arumi opts to do the same here, or if he's going straight for the pyre. Nor, not this time. When those teleportations to the orb, you blink and you'll miss them. Nor intercepts that throw. Goes for the harp bouncing strat, which in this arena in particular, if you bounce off the walls like that, you can actually gain a lot of speed in the process. And it helps Arumi get in here for 20. No prayer beads though on his Pamathon, so she is out for this round. Stowaway. Pass one defender. Oh, goes for the wall bouncing throw, but not enough on that one. Jody banishes one defender. Oh, Nor speeds past the pyre, but went so quickly, still had enough time to turn around and make it in for 20. Oh, look at that black magic jump. The Stowaway changed directions what seemed like 3 times in one jump. Oh, and this is the tricky part. Sure, you'll want to hit it off the wall, but it's not as easy as it looks second time around. Anor does get it to work. Oh, and that one, the angle was nearly correct. And Arumi, oh, that was odd. Looked like the orb just kind of stood still as soon as it hit off the wall, rather than actually bouncing off with any momentum. Oh, Arumi, look at that speed he builds up. Anor banished. Oh, but teleports to the orb. Arumi intercepts, but Anor banishes 1, banishes 2. And then gets banished. Arumi, oh my goodness, look at how fast that harp is. What on earth? Just attached a jetpack to that harp. And Anor throws it in for 20. Jody, by herself at the moment. Ooh, Anor somehow still gets the orb there. And the teleportation banishes 3 exiles, including Anor's. So it's a 1v1 here. But Anor intercepts the throw, and now she's wall bouncing with the harp. Stowaway for Arumi. Can't make it past Bertrude. Bertrude for Anor. Off the wall she goes. Now the Stowaway. Wall bouncing throw, a little bit off target this time round. Stowaway for Arumi this time. That throw is intercepted, and the Stowaway for Anor. Throw. Wrong direction that time. Hard to predict those wall bounces, but this time Anor gets the calculus right, the trigonometry. Harumi can't avoid the defenders that time round with the harp, but goes this time, and ooh, little sneaky maneuver there. Started quick, then slowed down to sneak past the defenders. Stowaway stopped. Now it's Arumi's stowaway. Oh, that one looked close, but it was intercepted. Anor technically just needs one score here if it is from her higher scoring exiles, such as Bertrude. So that could have been the deciding point right there. But Pamitha has just 20, which means Arumi is holding on with 5 at the moment. But one more, likely all that Anor needs at this point. Would it be the stowaway? Oh, it could be, because here she is. Wall bouncing throw, that one's off target. Pamitha needs some stamina back. Arumi retreats, gets it back, and makes it in for 20, and it is a one-score game for either player. Throw intercepted. No Pamitha for Arumi this time round after plunging with her, so advantage Anor in that way. Off the wall, and makes it in for the winning plunge. Almost straight off the wall and in, but just a step or two shy. They work like 10% of the time, but when they do, it is pretty cool.
Until the next round.
Exactly. Oh, great reference as well. All right, let us go back to our default settings here. Let us know, chat, if there's anything we want to see for this next one. I only know the quote. It's from Anchorman. What is it? Is it 60% of the time, I think is the number? 60% of the time, it works all the time. Very funny movie. Very funny movie. And actually a lot of celebrities in it, but it's at this point might be 20 years old or close to it at this point. So some of the things might be a little dated, but there are some absolute classics in it. That being one of them. That might not even be the number one thing from that movie. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend giving it a look. Bunch of things to catch up on. Well, for Pyre, is there anything we want for this one? We don't have any requests at the moment. Or are we feeling like we don't want to mess with this Anor Arumi showdown right now? Because right now, everything seems to be working wonderfully. And we just, we want it to stay that way. Oh, I know. I know what Anor is pondering here. I'm pretty sure I know what she's getting at. I don't think this is a reference to that movie list. I think it is, in fact, something having to do with Pyre that may or may not be appearing just below the Pyre Life icons for both players. Oh no, that's not what I was expecting. I was just expecting her to turn customize off. Oh no! My goodness. She's done it. She's done it. She has unleashed Falcon Ron. She has unleashed Falcon Ron. All right, then. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Let us summon Ron here. Let us summon Ron here. He is currently in the wrong spot. One moment. Ron is not being summoned by Arumi. Ron is being summoned by Anor. Oh, Ron. Oh, Ron. There we are. Something like that. Yeah, 56 points. Well, points well spent. Points certainly still well spent. Okay, so we'll have Dirty Deal going here. We will, of course, perhaps have other crazy ways in which Ron will interfere with the right. You can't ever rule anything out with this guy. Once upon a time, we had it set up in the old Tariq bot days where we could have the additional Falcon Ron sounds. I'm not really sure if the new Tariq bot can make that happen. I think we've tried before and it hasn't really worked out for us. I'll give it a shot here, though. Let me see if I can perhaps find a way to still make that work. That would be nice if we could. For a special occasion such as this, right? Let's see. Falcon Ron. This one. Will this work? Let me see. This is going to work. TariqBot, are you smart enough to do this? Are you smart enough to do this? No. No, unfortunately not. Okay. Alright. Is there a... In the Supergiant soundtrack, is there a version of Dirty Deal that has the Falcon Ron sounds built into it? Oh, that is amazing, Arumi. That is amazing. Oh man, and that is tough. I don't know. I mean, it makes a lot of sense for his stuff to be talisman-centric. Exactly. It's on YouTube, so I tried to do the YouTube version, but TariqBot doesn't let me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, Rumi. Either of those sound great. But alas, we have a Falcon Ron match here. I think this will have to do with just the built-in Dirty Deal here. We will see if there's anything else to go along with that. Ron is the ring demon? What? Ron wearing all the cursed talismans at once? Oh my goodness. He deserves it? How utterly brazen. I can't believe you said that. He's just that cursed. Somebody unlock the Falcon Ron emote. Spam it. I'm pretty sure you can do that with Lidcoin, right? Forget how much it costs. So now, how will both players prepare themselves mentally, physically, and perhaps most importantly, emotionally for this Falcon Ron match? That is the key question. It's on tier 3. It should be. I thought you were still able to unlock that with Lidcoin. Are you not? Or is it only unlock a random emote? Is that how it works? I don't remember. The one that says unlock a random sub-emote, does that work? You might need to spam it a bit? Because I thought you got to choose, but I guess you don't get to choose which one? Okay. Interesting. Well, here we go. It is Arumi going triple worms here. And an ore perhaps empowered with the cursedness of Falcon Ron. But she gets things started here by throwing it in for 30.
Now then. My word. How brazen. Tis taken.
Orb remains unclaimed here. Anor and Arumi fighting over it. Arumi with the worms speeds toward Jody. But Jody remains. Edwin. Oh, passes it back. Now he goes in for a 20-point plunge into the Pyre. There is the Bottled Void as well. And Anor follows through that clearing with a 30 damage plunge from Jody. No prayer beads on her, so she's gone for this round. Bottled Void activates here, though. Down goes Hedwyn. Anor defenseless here. Opportunity for Arumi. And actually sees chance. Increases that damage from 15 up to 25. Anor, Tizo, or Jody. Jody's throw is quick enough to make it in for the winning score.
Nightwings prevail. 'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood by their side. The ceremony is complete.
With the power of Falcon Ron, anything is possible.
Until the stars align.
All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Of course, hard to follow up that Falcon Ron match, but we shall see. Do we have anything in mind for this one? Oh, hold on. 2 parts to the talisman request. Okay, let's see. Perhaps something a little more elaborate from Arumi this time. Get hyped. Maybe something we haven't even seen before. That'd be pretty cool. Wonder what Arumi is scheming up. Okay. Oh, combined with masteries. Okay, so we have 8 combined masteries and talismans between all exiles. So you can have 8 masteries and no talismans, 6 masteries and 2 talismans, etc. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely one of the cooler ones for sure. Total triumvirate height over 11 feet. Do we have the heights of the exiles? Does it say that on their bio pages? I don't remember if it does. Does it? If so, then that could potentially be something we could do in the future. I don't think we've ever had something like that before. But alas, this time, it's a combination of masteries and talismans in total across all of your exiles that can only add up to 8. So you can go all in on the masteries, some talismans, up to the players to decide how best to allocate those things. Baylor did an analysis of it last December. Oh, I don't remember that. Huh. But it's not directly referenced in the bios or anything like that, so we need to... It does require some calculations. Well, anyways, let's get this one started.
The Nightwings shall take on the dissidents. Welcome.
Was this the one where...
Who shall conduct?
Maybe I vaguely remember. Yeah, like... There is a height attribute. Wasn't Gilman, like, surprisingly incredibly tall? Or, like, his body was incredibly long or something like that? Disturbingly so, or something like that? Oh, it determines where they stand in the victory pose. Okay. Okay, so the taller people end up in the back and the shorter people end up in the front. And that's the reason for it existing in-game. But it's sort of hidden, it's not outwardly facing.
Choose someone.
But remember, for this one, it's a total of 8 masteries and talismans collectively across all 3 exiles. So the players need to choose how best to mix and match those things together. I have a bit of a theory here. See, Nor goes for a power casting headwind. I won't say it just yet because I don't want to influence their decisions here. But I feel like we may see a certain pattern start to develop here. Oh. Sounds like someone disconnected. Let me take a look. Pyre died, need a reset for Rumi? Okay, no worries. Should I give you a minute before I send you the invite, or can I just throw it your way right away? That is true. Did see that. Okay, so Arumi also went 2 masteries, 1 talisman. I think that's what we saw Nor take with her first exile. So both players have spent 3 out of their total of 8 points. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Norco's talismanless on Pamitha there. Rumi likes linear combinations. Oh, just the Goals Bracer and no masteries on Snadra. Very interesting. So very different approaches that time around. We saw Nor take a bunch of masteries, but no talisman on her exile. And Rumi went no masteries, but 1 talisman. Then Nor still has enough points left here to get a nutrition stick on Volfred. And still enough for a Webbed Lanthorn Messenger Imp for Rumi. So here we go, a combined 8 points across their masteries and talismans for both players. Up to them to choose how best to allocate them. And we did see some differing approaches here, and Arumi throws this one in for 25 to get things started from his crone. Oh, and the power cast. Arumi. With Milda stopped. Arumi, does he have a portal? If so, then that is a very dangerous one at that. Lenore can reset it if she plunges here, and she does. Arumi hops over the cast. Oh, but just catches the tail end of that one there. That leaves him with just Messenger Imp and just Volfred for Anor. Now Anor defenseless here, so time for an uncontested 30 damage throw. For a second there, it looked like that might have been wide to the right, but no, Arumi does still land it. With Milda. Throw, I don't think she has that kind of range. Power cast from Snadra, but in the meantime, there goes Volfred. Ooh, and well done there from Anor to get the banishment, but Arumi follows up with a banishment of his own. Nice power cast from Hedwyn. Boy, Messenger Imp nearly goes straight into that power cast, does eventually go down to one. With Milda, sidesteps, but can't stop Volfred from taking her out. And she has returned. That throw is still going to be short, though. Arumi sets up a very dangerous portal here, but he is defenseless for the next several seconds. So time for Anor to throw this one in for 20. And down goes Udmilda. Down goes Snadra. But the Webbed Lanthorn brings back Udmilda. Biding her time. Does go down. Oh, and that was the last of Arumi's exiles there. Time for a 25 damage sap throw from Anor. Udmilda. No time for the throw. Ooh, look at that little maneuver. Throw intercepted. Hamatha for Anor is blocked. But takes out one defender. Blocked and has it back. And finds her way through for a 20 damage plunge. And that drops Arumi down to 15. So one more score may be all that Anor needs here. Snadra. Arumi abandons the orb, but here comes Anor! And that's the winning plunge.
Of their adversaries is but ash. The rite is done.
GG. Well played.
Until the next rite.
Okay, so let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. Of course, if not, we'll just have them take whatever they'd like to take. Then again, we were talking quite a bit about the Exile's height. Not sure how readily we would be able to create teams on the fly based on height, if most of those values are going to require that we dig into some code to uncover. Oh, hold on. It's book, and it is double sap. Maybe this is semi-balanced too? Well, I remember Anor has said on several prior occasions. They're not the biggest fan of going in the book, and that might be in part because it tends not to work as well for saps. Don't remember the exact reasoning, but to have double sap in the book may handicap both players potentially. Anything else on top of that? Or will that be all? Every version of Never to Return. Hold on. Let me see. What is the best way to make that happen? That's probably going to need to be Tariq bot in that case. Probably means we need to go band camp. I have not yet gotten up here, but let's see. Can I track that down? Acoustic OST. Actually, does the Pyre OST, does that have all the versions of Never to Return? Not even sure if it does. Does it just have the Nightwings version? It might. Might only have that. Okay. Not sure how feasible this is actually going to be to make that happen, to tell you the truth. Black Mandolin might have it? Okay, let's see. Let's see, then. That's the original, that's White Loot. Oh, no, that is Black Mandolin. Okay, hold on. Oh, Black Mandolin is just all the versions of Never to Return and not other stuff? Wow, I did not realize that. Okay. Alright. Can I tell Tariq bot to just play this entire playlist? That'd be great. Or I'll just tell him manually to do all of them and loop it. I suppose that works too. Let's see. Alright. One sec. It's going to take me a little while to get all these in. Okay, I might have gotten them all. Let me double check. Okay, I think I have them all. Core, what are you doing here? This is a RITE night. Alright, well, we may be in for a long one here, as we will have double saps. So maybe that's the reasoning behind having all these versions of Never to Return queued up. Just a passerby, pay him no mind. Alright, well, let's get this one started then, I suppose. So double sap. Other than that, up to them. Yiggly, you are just in time. I hope you have your popcorn ready to go, because this one could be a little while. Not quite sure if this one's going to be competing for the longest RITE ever title, as no restrictions on this third exile, so they could still take someone who's aggressive offensively. Any order restrictions here? I forget who it was who made this initial request. Was it Barrick? I don't think it said anything at the time, but for clarification purposes. Do they need to take these exiles in any specific order? Was it Barrick? I also don't remember who it was who made the initial... No restrictions on order. Okay. I don't think so. So the thing about a sap-centric RITE such as this, as we have Hamatha and the Stowaway, quick throwing Stowaway, are the two non-saps that we'll see here. The saps are, of course, very defensive exiles. And so having two of them on both teams in a small, crammed arena like this is going to make it very hard to move around and make it into the Pyre. And for that reason, likely to be a very slow defensive game, and that's why in the past we've seen that when we do have these very sap-centric matches, those are the ones that tend to push the limits in terms of how long an individual RITE ends up going. That bot almost got me, what with their somewhat believable name. Arumi, if you can give me just a second here, I will proceed to ban this bot before we get going. There we go. Okay. Proceed. Alright, chat. As I said, I hope you have your snacks ready, because this one could be a while. It's double sap, harp for Nor, savage for Rumi, and we shall see how long this one ends up going for. Stowaway here. Would expect to see most of the offense will come from the non-sap characters, but it is, of course, possible to get in, for example, quick throws like this. I mean, hasn't really been necessary in tournaments. This is mostly just happening because it was a specific request. It's not so much that it's a competitive team, more so that it's just a crazy, interesting option that is certainly going in on one of the extremes. So it's very strong defensively, yes, but you do still need to find a way to score, and so for that reason I think we wouldn't usually find players voluntarily choosing a setup like this. But both players still off to relatively quick starts here, as that is Arumi throwing it in on a second occasion here for 20 points. And there are, of course, some legitimate time, or not that this isn't legitimate, but there are some times when matches do take a little bit of time, 10 minutes or more, even when they are not necessarily just from players playing very defensive teams. Sometimes it's just a really close defensive showdown with tons of really good plays. Well, we saw a Nor score for 20 in the previous round, trying to follow it up here. Oh, was gonna say with the harp, but actually switched into a sap and looking for a quick throw to land. But it was a little bit off target. Sometimes when you make those switches, sometimes when you start doing the throw, the aim is not lined up exactly where your cursor is pointing, at least not initially. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to actually lock on. It wobbles from side to side, and that can throw you off. But Anor able to get the throw this time around. Anor blocked, and Arumi has it back. Oh, and little fake out there, making it look like he was going to go straight in, and then just a little sidestep and hopped in. But it means no stowaway for this round, so that is a tough situation for Arumi. As with just 2 saps here, needs to somehow find a way to score with those saps, and that is far easier said than done. Oh, and look at that. That must have been a nutrition stick plunge right there from Anor. Going straight in with the sap for 25. Means no Volfred in this round, though, for Anor. Oh, and not quite enough room to sneak in that throw for Rumi. Now Anor is Volfredless. Here comes Pamitha. Switches in, and that is once again what I was just talking about. Switched into his sap, looking to get a quick throw in there. But the throw wobbles from side to side at times, and that meant that Anor was not on target with that throw. Needed a little more time for it to really lock on to the targeted Pyre. But here is Arumi throwing it in for 20, and that means both players tied at 20 here, and both players back at full strength in this round. Stowaway for Rumi. Oh, and look at that quick throw. There is the rekindling. That's the first one to trigger here. It's for Anor. It's 50. So second life bar revealed. Arumi's still on his first. But did he take the full 50? Actually, could have gone up to 100 if he really wanted to, if he went max rekindling on both saps. Or did he take less? Oh, Anor, that time the quick throw does land, and it's 60. 60 rekindling for Rumi, so slightly more than we just saw for Anor. But now both players onto their second life bars, and there is the quick throw once again. It's working out for Anor this time. Pamitha switches in. Oh, point blank. But no time for Anor. Still wait for Rumi. Throw intercepted. Anor, quick throw. Locks on. For another 25, it drops Rumi down to 10, and Rumi is, of course, on his second life bar now, which means next score, likely all that Anor needs here. Will it be Pamitha? Not this time. Stowaway, blocked. And banished. Anor, that throw. Oh, that was close. Rumi with the stowaway. Trying to find an angle to work with here, but that was not it. The throw from Anor, oh, not enough time to finish it. That was also very nearly the deciding play. Arumi trying to set up a sapling near Anor's Pyre, perhaps to give him a safer place from which to advance and throw with the stowaway, but not this time. And a well-placed exploding sapling from Anor. Arumi defenseless for the time being. Oh, and look at that harp push, nearly enough for Anor to bulldoze her way into the Pyre, but not quite. Anor can't throw with Numbing Gust active, but blinks into the Pyre for the winning score. GG. Classic Anor finish indeed. Well played. Yeah, I think in the past, the really slow ones have been not only double sap, either triple sap and preventing that last sap from using its sapling, or we do have a third exile that is not a sap, but we've done something to hinder its scoring ability. Because we saw in that case, at least certainly for Rumi with the stowaway, that he was able to score a lot with her. And I think it's sometimes been cursed talismans for the saps as well. And so, that would slow down some of the sap throwing plays that Anor was trying to do. So I think it takes a little more than just double sap to really slow things down. It takes, an extra step or two hindering that third exile, or having that third exile be a sap that just can't use the sapling. Anor tolerates the book, is a way to put it. Well, let us know if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one. Thor is a huge fan of it. Okay, Nanor will go about 2 more, and then might swap out. And it looks like we have 1 or more people in chat who would be ready to jump in, so sounds good. Same for Rumi as well? Awesome. Alright, so in that case, sounds like we'll have a couple more matches here between these two. Is there anything we want to see between them before they part ways? Oh, Rumi said, wait. Okay, I was gonna say, imps are not a talisman. All imps, baby! Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's do it. Let there be imps. And in some ways, going from one defensive showdown to another, as the imps, more often than not, are built largely for defensive purposes. In this case, they are more mobile than the saps. So not to say that they can't score, but oftentimes when we see these all-imp showdowns, it does come down to the differentiating factor is what do the players choose to try to enable a little more offense than you usually see out of the imps. So in Anor's case there, you see the extra speed on Messenger Imp.
Messenger Imp.
But Nor finishes with stun on Titan Tooth. Salute does deheartify, correct. And infinite stamina there, so that's another, I suppose you could say, offensive talisman from Rumi that time. So here we go, an all-imp showdown. Rumi's stunned there, but has the orb back now. Oh, and Anor trying to chase him, but still had an imp in position defensively. Ooh, and Anor sneaks through here, but Rumi just enough time to cut Anor off, and dangerous portal positioning there for Rumi. If he is to get it back, that is something that Anor will need to keep in mind. And he tries to go through it, but Anor does have it covered. Anor's portal not nearly as aggressively placed. Rumi has the orb back here. The portal is moving a little bit further back, though. Oh, but look at this opening! No, not enough time. Not enough time for Rumi to capitalize there. Now the portal not nearly as much of a threat. Rumi, infinite stamina on this imp, at least initially. Portal is was once again, for a moment there, right next to Anor's Pyre. That is another way that you can potentially manufacture a little bit of offense out of these imps, because as we are seeing, they are so good defensively that it is hard to score against them. The throw, intercepted. Einor. Einor back the other way, blocked. Vanished. Oh, and Arumi had an imp right next to Einor's Pyre, snuck that one past. Portal is still close to Einor's Pyre, but here is Einor's attack. And Arumi is stunned here. So opportunity for Einor to throw this one in for 25 for our first score of the match. No one expects the Spanish imposition. Oh, Einor might have had an opening there if she wanted to go in. Does eventually find her way through for 25. Oh, Arumi here was thinking about setting a portal directly on top of Einor's Pyre, making it such that if he does get through the portal, it would be an automatic score. But realized that Einor was on the attack there and perhaps didn't have the luxury of going that route. And there is Einor throwing it in for 25 and dropping Arumi down to 25. So one more score, at least from a 25 damage imp, could be all that Einor needs here. Unlike the saps, of course, that we saw previously, the imps do not have any built-in rekindling from their masteries. So that's one way in which the saps have a little more going for them defensively compared to the imps. And Einor sneaks on through. Little reverse psychology, perhaps. Arumi was expecting that imp to drop down, and Einor never did.
Victory it was. The rite is complete.
All right, well played, you two.
Until the next rite.
Tooth Raji, just too good. Well, thanks for stopping by, Arumi. Good to have you as always. And that means we're looking for someone to jump in here to take Arumi's spot. It would ideally be someone playing on controller, as Einor is on mouse keyboard here. Yeagly is interested. Yeagly, remind me, do you play usually controller or mouse keyboard? Used a toaster, actually. Okay, Yeah, I don't know how compatible that is with Pyre. I don't have any experience with that, I'm afraid. Ah, okay. Okay. And what happens when your toast is ready? You score, of course, obviously. Looks like Einor may be looking to swap out as well, if anyone else is interested. It does qualify as a controller. Can stay if needed, okay. Well, at the very least, why don't we get Yeagly in here now? If you show up on Steam, there you are. And Yeagly, what team would you like to be today? Which triumvirate? Oh, that's kind of far. That is kind of far. I mean, surely there is a PC within 800 kilometers of you. Otherwise, I don't know. Are you currently vacationing on Antarctica? Even then, there are probably some research stations that have PCs at them. Middle of the ocean, somewhere, is probably the only place you could ever be nowadays where you are 800 kilometers away from a PC. Even on the North Pole? I mean, I think there's less research stuff going on there. Not sure if there are really any permanent research bases. Maybe if you're there? Is Eureka within 800 kilometers? No, not Eureka. Alerts within 800 kilometers of the North Pole? Could be underground. If you're just... Obviously, Lids, just be in the Earth's core, and then there's no computers within 800 kilometers of you. But have you ever considered that maybe the Earth is actually just a gigantic PC? And so by definition, you are never more than 800 kilometers away from a PC because you are currently living on top of a PC 24/7? But Liz, what if I was in the International Space Station? What, you don't think the International Space Station has a PC on it? How are the specs, though? Scientists to this day have yet to resolve that question. Alright, well anyways, it looks like it'll be Anor against Yiggly here. Yiggly, did you have a team you wanted to be? Does the Earth make toast? The Earth absolutely makes toast. Oh, without question. Can the ISS run Crisis? I don't know. Probably. The Earth makes all of the toast in the world, so yes. Yes, I would say the Earth absolutely can, in fact, make toast. But Lids, the toaster is the thing making the toast, not the Earth on which the toaster is located. Yeah, but also there are these things called volcanoes. Alright, anyways, I digress. Oh, Yiggly, did you want to be Fate? Is that... Hold on. Put you... Fate here? Volcano toast pretty unbuttered. Have you ever thought of volcanoes next to dairy farms, though? Lids, that just got dark. Yeah, I know. Let's start. So, no requests for this one, I don't think, unless you want to do a toaster-themed match, which would feel pretty fitting right about now, I suppose. Anor goes with an auto-passing Bertrude. I'm getting some vibes from that selection. Tizo in the first spot for Yiggly. Yeah, I don't think there will be any men to toast here. Because I think it may be as I suspected. Humans, maybe not. Worms, on the other hand, oh, and some double action here from Yiggly. 2 worms and an auto-passing crone. This is a pseudo Infiniworm setup from Anor. Which, as soon as I saw the auto-passing talisman on that Bertrand in this first spot, I suspected it might be just that. But here we go. The first matchup between Anor and Yiggly, at least for today. I'm actually not sure if these two have played each other before. But here is the Infiniworms. 1 worm goes down, well, another one replaces it. There just is no end to the Infiniworms, you see. Here comes an infinite stamina Jody, and she plunges in for 30 here. Big implosion from Tizo. Explosion from Gilman as well. Leaves Bertrand back defensively. She goes down, but in doing so, brings back an infinite stamina Lady River, who plunges for 15. And she had prayer beads, so she is back. And here she is. A little bit short on that plunge attempt, but she goes down and brings back Gilman, who goes down and brings back Lady River, who goes back down and brings back Gilman, who goes down and brings back Lady River. Bertrude. Over to Lady River, who plunges for 15. Just Lady River back defensively. Against Tizo, whose throw sneaks through here for 9. Throw this time. Banishes 1 defender, but here comes Bertrand. She's stopped and then passes the orb over to Gilman, who passes the orb to Lady River, who makes it in for 15. Oh, and then the Crone salute turns all of Yiggly's defenders into defenseless howlers, setting up the automatic score for the winning plunge.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Holy buttered toast.
Until the stars align.
All right. Well, there you have it. The glory that is Infiniworms. Or pseudo-Infiniworms, technically. I think there's only one way to describe it in Pyre, and that is that she's seen the light. Well, is there anything else that we'd like to see for this one? The real dose of the worms we revived along the way. Exactly. I think Anor had said she was willing to swap out here if there is anyone in chat who would like to jump in. So if so, then let us know. Otherwise, if there's anything we'd like to see between these two, then... He was in here a minute ago. Don't know if he's still here. Is he still lurking? Yeah, right. You would have thought you'd see something there. Huh? Ground control's a major call. Perhaps not. Perhaps not. Well then. I mean, it doesn't have to be Courier. Can someone brief you on the counterplay to Infiniworms? Well, it is objectively the best possible team composition in the entire game, of course, because worms are objectively the best exiles in the entire game, of course. Of course. Now, the thing is, if you're looking for the actual counter, is it's all offense. Or as in, that team composition is all offense. It's very weak defensively. So, basically, it's get the orb, and then bring the attack to them, and put them on their back heels. Because it is very hard to defend with full worms. And many cases, you're plunging for 15 damage, which is not that much, so if it turns into just trading scores, if you're scoring for more than 15 and they're just scoring for 15, then on net, you're going to win out. If they get the orb, then it's tough. That's obviously the strength of that team, is once they get the orb, they can come flying at you non-stop. You actually, technically speaking, what you want to do is delay long enough before banishing one of the worms that it breaks the Infiniworms combo, because the Infiniworms combo works when there are no exiles back, or when there are no exiles left, then it will automatically respawn a worm with infinite stamina, and it passes the orb to that imp, or to that worm. So the way that you break that combo is if you slow them down long enough so that when one of them does eventually get banished, or ideally just blocked and not banished at all, if there are more worms back, then they're just never going to come back with infinite stamina, because your opponent is never defenseless in the first place. Yeah, so blocking, basically try not to banish them. If you do have to banish them, delay as long as possible if you can. So it's by no means is it actually unbeatable. I think people have for some reason, been playing it for the better part of 2 years. Only the past, I don't know, several months or so have people suddenly thought, oh my goodness, this is the best possible team. When in the past, whenever I'd said that, I was kind of just joking. But it seems as though it's really caught wind, and people for some reason actually believe that now. It's not actually nearly as good as people think it is. I mean, what? No, but obviously worms are objectively the best team, as I was saying. Yeah, so it is extremely good at what it does well, but it has a critical weakness, and that is primarily its lack of defense. Core! My goodness. Now he shows up. Look what you've done now, Core. Does somebody explain to him? Not going to repeat that. I'm afraid you may have missed it. I'm afraid you may have missed it. He did in fact say the thing. He did in fact say the thing. VODs do in fact exist. This is true. This is true. Well, either we are looking for someone else to jump in here, or a setup here for Nor versus Yiggly on the next one. Alright, well, not seeing any requests or people looking to jump in here, so why don't we just have these two face off once again? Let's have them face off again, then. Yiggly is eager.
The night wings shall now
Oh, hold on. Last second exiles request here from my rotor.
Welcome.
There is still enough time to make it happen.
Conduct the
Let's see what he has in mind. Double left side curve. 100% left side? Or are we talking just the triple jump and extra speed, but none of the quick respawning stuff from Lucky Break? At least 3. Okay, gotcha. At least 3 on the left side for 2 cars. I take that to mean you could take whichever 3 you'd like, or you can go all in for 4 if you want. I assume that's for both of you, yeah? Anor has an idea. Oh, I think I know where this is going.
rookie.
Core. Alright, Yeagley's going for the extra plunging damage on that initial cur. So both players still have 1 more cur to go here. Remember, at least 3 masteries on the left side. Can go all 4 if they want. But they don't need to. Anor goes for the stuns there with Barker whenever he jumps into somebody. Don't forget, you do still have 1 more mastery here available to you, Yeagley. Goes the auto-passing route there. Just double, I believe, yeah. Double left side curve. Or can it be 3? Yeah, is Anor allowed to go triple curve if she would like? Is it a minimum of 2, or is it precisely 2 curves? Sure. You can do 3 if you want. Now it's a hard decision. Anor goes banishing throws on a 3rd cur, Dalbert. Do you accept the mirror, though? Do you also go triple cur in this situation? And Yeagley says yes. I do accept the mirror. Well, in that case, let us see how these 2 fare. In a cur versus cur showdown, who let the dogs out? They are all quite speedy, of course. But stunned this time from the Titan Tooth. Anor, a little bit of time to work with here. And just enough time to sneak in for a 15 damage plunge. Anor. Dalbert here. No Barker for her in this round after he plunged. That leaves just Ruki back defensively. Going to be pretty unusual that we find either player able to score uncontested as the Curs just come back so quickly from banishment. There might be brief moments where there are no defenders, but for the most part, Those are just going to be very, very slim moments, and then blink a couple times, and the defenders will be back. That is an opportunity there for a 15 damage throw from Yiggly, tying us up at 85 apiece. Oh, and look at that. The momentum after the sprint helps Yiggly get the angle on the throw to make it just past the defender. Anor hops over and in for 15. What's the dog doing, though?
Too close to call who shall prevail as yet.
Rookie. Enough momentum to take him in there.
The dissidents seem to be falling behind.
Oh, and once again, just enough speed and distance for those curs to take flight into the Pyre. Of course, with these left-sided curs, they functionally sprout wings. Like so. Oh, and Nor actually with time to sneak in a throw there for 10. Like so. That means one more score, maybe all the Nor needs here. Could this be it? Yes, it is.
The night wings prevail. They overwhelm their adversaries utterly.
GG.
The rite is complete.
All right, let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything you want to see for the next one. Oh, what do we have here? Chat chooses players' skills except for Nora and Yiggly. The tough thing about that is just, how do we reach a consensus among chat? Nora was about to see if someone could switch places with her, but perhaps she's intrigued by this option. Perhaps a poll? Do I remember how to properly set up a poll? The answer to that question is no, but... I know we can still swap out if someone else would like to get in here. Otherwise, sounds like she is theoretically available to stay in if necessary. No, I'm fine. The goal is to get as many of you guys from chat in as possible. And I think we still have several regulars who've not yet gotten the chance to play today. Granted, some of them may be located at the center of the Earth right now. Several tens of thousands of kilometers away from any computer. Or can hop in. In that case, shall we do a core for an ore swap? Perhaps that is in the cards here. Ah, Yiggly, you're right. You're right. How could I forget? You are right about that. Can't believe I forgot. Can't forget about those lizard men. You do. I mean, they'll get you. They will get you. That's the thing about them. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it either. I bet it could, in that case. Yeah, so basically, everyone except for the two people in chats, or rather the two people in-game, are the ones that pick the team composition, or pick the mastery specifically. No, except at the moment, hold on. At least according to remote play, it says Yiggly is player 1 and Core is player 2. Do one of you mind just moving your cursor around or pressing the bumpers on your controller and seeing which team you change?
I'm player 2.
Okay, Core is player 2. Gotcha. Let me set you guys up then. And Core, will it be Nightwing, or rather, Pyre Arts for you, or Chastity?
Is Yiggly gonna be Nightwings?
I think Yiggly, I'm assuming, is staying on the Fate here.
Oh, Fate, okay. Yeah, I can go Pyre Hearts.
Okay.
And is the request just choosing skills?
Skills specifically, yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are still picking Exile, and you're picking Talisman, but chat is selecting your masteries for you.
Oh, if he's gonna go Nightwings, then...
Oh, wait, did I?
Yiggly looks like he wants to go Nightwings.
Oh, take Nightwings, actually? Okay, gotcha.
Then just give me Chastity.
Okay. Thing. There we go. No worries. No worries. Yeah, the Pyre Hearts and the Nightwings have... Oh, and the screen is... Wait, what? All right. Switch you to Chastity. There we go. Yeah, Nightwings and Pyre Hearts have probably the most similar colors. It's pretty hard to tell them apart. So just to play it safe, oftentimes when that is a matchup that is forthcoming, one of the Pyre Hearts or Nightwings players will switch things up into something that has a little more contrasting colors. Yeah, learn it the hard way. And then have we established what our preferred methodology is for having chat vote / determine what the masteries will be? Especially bad on Glade, because the background is kind of a similar color. Or like the lighting affect the colors of the auras at all? Like bright arenas versus dark arenas? But yeah, so are we thinking chat is going to just spam in chat what they want people to take for masteries, or I do not remember offhand.
How is that going to work?
Holds. Hold on, let me test
It's
this
very
out.
unstructured.
Right, let me see. Try to set a poll. Let's see. Okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Okay, I think I can set up votes via polls, theoretically. Not sure in practice how it'll work, but we could just try spamming. We'll see. I'll try a poll. And if it looks like it doesn't quite work for us, then we can spam in chat as our backup plan. Okay, so why don't we get this started then? So I think, why don't we have the players choose both their character and their talisman, and then once they've done that, then we'll do the poll to determine what the masteries will be.
Who shall conduct?
That way we have everything set and ready to go. Okay. So, Tizo, banishing throws. Let me set up the pool here. Oh, I also need to remember what the names of the masteries are. Which I don't. Tizo's mastery. Can I just call these L1, L2, L3, L4, R1, R2, R3, R4? Because otherwise there's no way I'm going to remember what the names of all them are. So it's like the left, like this, hold on. It's like this is L1. I guess I can do this. But then that's going to take a long time. In the interest of keeping things moving, so this is L1, this is L2, this is L3, this is L4, R1, R2, R3, R4. So that's what it's going to look like on the poll. Give me just a second to type that in. Because, yeah, like I could. Oh, is it going to allow me to make that many responses? Oh, hold on.
I go by the letter system, so for me it's RA, RB, RC, RD, and so on. LA, LB, LC.
Well, the problem
I don't
here,
understand numbers.
I am only allowed to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options at most in a poll, and you need 8. So that is not going to work. Yeah, I could only do L1, L2, L3, L4, and then...
it's also dependent on other stuff, right? Like, you could have L4 be the most, and R4 be the most.
True.
You can't do that.
Yeah. As much as I like this idea in theory...
And we just have one... Here's what we do. We just pick one chat member to pick the masteries for each one of our exiles, and then we do another chat member do the next set of exiles. That's the best way to do it.
That is interesting. Let's see. The way I can get a random...
Cow just picks it all because...
Let's see. I thought there's a way I can get it to randomly select a person in chat. I don't remember what the command for that is offhand.
We could just vote for either all left side or all right side and have those be the only 2 options.
It could be, I suppose. That works too. Let's see. Does chat come to any conclusions in the meantime? Do full entire left side versus entire right side. We have most board time. Okay, Cacao is choosing a specific person from chat to select your masteries for you, it seems. And Cacao being the person who made the request, I suppose that makes sense. So, Anor, I suppose it is up to you to select Tizo's masteries here. That way we can give a little more room for creativity and not just go all left side or all right side. And hopefully we can mix it up a little bit and have different people selecting for different exiles. L1, L2, L4, R1. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
be so.
Okay, Cacao, prepare yourself to choose who will be selecting the masteries for Kor's Exile here. He's going Power Casting Snadra. Iroder is choosing for Kor here. Iroder goes L1, L2, R1, R3. L1, L2, so he does get the critical strike. And Sacred Bond. Alright, so who will it be selecting for Yeagley's second character here?
You seriously couldn't get me shoulder smash. Seriously, you didn't go all left side of the rotor.
It's a quick throwing Jody. Oh, hold on. Or maybe not. Okay, it is. So, Cacao, who is selecting for this one? I think we are eventually going to run out of people in chat. Oh, okay. Let's see. L1, L2, L4, R1. Which means 1, 2, 4, 1. Oh, so that's just meta. Oh, I'm next. I'm next. Oh, okay. Let's see. I mean, it's a worm. I mean, it is a worm. So, like, that is fitting. Let's see. What do I want, though?
What do I want? Maybe that's the question you should be asking.
No. Clearly, I'm not going to give you what you want. Why would I give you what you want? Let's go.
Because we want the same thing?
Debatable. Debatable. Let's go L1, L3, R1. I'm not sure what I want you to do with the last one.
You said this?
Yeah.
And then this?
Yep.
Okay.
Not entirely sure what I want with the last one, though. You'll take C's chance.
Sir Gilman.
You ever seen this Lids guy before? Somebody get him out of here.
I would have been really upset if you picked the quick draw.
bet he's never played Pyre before. I bet he has no idea what this Pyre thing is.
Can we have someone who talks in chat? Maybe this AJ?
No, they did the previous one.
Oh, they did.
They chose for the
Jody.
previous Yeagly one. Yeah, for Jody.
Well, we can maybe have some repeats if there's not enough, like a Failer or like.
I don't think Failer is chosen yet either, if he's still in chat right now. Failer's next, says Cacao.
I don't know if he's here right now.
Is he? I think in theory, but also there's a question of, are people actually at their keyboards right now, or are they AFK, just lurking, doing other things? Baylor is here, though. L1, L3, R1, R2. Let's see. L1, L3, R1, R2. Okay, I think that's pretty common imp set.
Messenger imp.
Who's that Yeagly guy? Definitely never heard of them before. Definitely an unbiased third party in this situation. Last is Cacao. Okay. And Core locks in a quick throwing Manly. So Cacao, what is this Manly going to do? What? Cacao? That's just mean. Well, that's anticlimactic. Cacao said take nothing, and is insisting. Twitch chat plays Pyre, indeed.
Wait, I had to take nothing?
Cacao, that is brazen, but I think that crosses the line. Please at least select something here. Please do select 4 masteries for core.
Yeah, of course Yeagly.
Yeagly says, oh, that seems totally fine. I don't see an issue with this. I mean, if even a Nor is against this, then I think that's a pretty safe bet that something may be wrong here. Fair and balanced as all things should be. R1, okay, that's a start. 3 more from there. You can do it. We believe in you.
Yes, I'm
4,
chicken.
are you a chicken? What?
I am chicken. Chicken gaming. Alright, whatever, I don't care.
Whatever. Here we go. Chat plays Pyre. More so than usual, seeing as how chat is usually already playing Pyre directly. But chat selects the masteries for other people from chat who are playing Pyre. So we'll see how this all turns out here. Ooh, nifty little maneuver there from Yeagly. Through the portal. The core has it back here with Snadra. Who played a lot of hopscotch. Nearly avoided banishment, but did eventually go down. She is back here, though. And gives it back to Core's Worm, who plunges for 15 here. No prayer beads on Gilman, though, so he's gone for this round. Big power cast from Snadra. Oh, and gets rid of the last of Eagly's defenders think that was supposed to be a throw, but the momentum took Snadra into the Pyre there for a plunge. Siege Chance is up for Gilman here, so if he's quick, he can get extra damage with a score. That throw does land for 20, so Siege Chance was still up. Ooh, big power cast gets rid of 2 defenders, and that's the third and final character from Yiggly's side, and now Core does make sure to turn this one into a throw. And once again, double banishment there from the power cast from Snadra. Yiggly avoids that. Thinks about going for the portal, but saw that Snadra was hanging out next to it. There goes 2 of Core's exiles. Snadra has returned, but here comes Jody. Oh, can't quite get the throw far enough to banish one of the defenders. And here's Gilman. And Snadra for Core. Snadra down. No one back here for Yiggly right now. And that means that is the winning score.
Good game.
GG.
Outperformed their adversaries. The ceremony is complete.
All that filled up.
I really wish I had shoulder smash there, but I guess Sacred Palm was good too.
All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. Yiggly is choosing exiles here. Redeeming it just so no one else can. Blink, and you may have missed it. So is that a, you just want you guys to take whatever you want to take here? Want Core to choose his own exiles and you'll choose mine? Okay, totally fine. That works. Anything else of the other categories? Oh, let us reset our arena as well here. Time passes. We don't have that built in, I don't think. Do we? I don't think we do. No, we don't. Okay, hold on. That means that is TariqBot. And random talismans. Okay. Let's break out. Time passes. Is okay. That means we should get rid of the in-game music. All right. Random talismans means we can do that via the bot, actually, in Discord, is capable of going that route. Ignore timing of the talisman selections. Do we have the very first thing be that we select the talisman randomly and then players can choose their exile and masteries based on the talisman they receive? Or do they have to lock in their exile and their masteries and only then do they see what talisman they're getting? Because basically it's a matter of, you know, how much information do the players have when they choose their team. Talisman first. Okay, and then they can select their exiles and masteries based on that? Okay. Cursed talismans included? Yes. Yes, indeed. Alright, so why don't we, in that case, let's get this started, but then we'll hop over into Discord real quick, and we'll have both players randomly select their talismans, and I'll show you how in just a minute.
I already chose my 3.
Tor is already a step ahead of us. How dare he?
I got Black Hood.
Tor? The spoilers, man! Okay, well, let's take a look. That is the wrong tab, Lids. That is Streamlabs. This is Discord. Okay, so yeah, it's just type in $talisman, and then you'll get a random talisman. If you happen to get the same one twice in a row or 3 times in a row, then just do it again. Sakor got Black Hoof, he got Scribe Rock, and he got Star Splinter, and he can select his team however he'd like based on those 3 talismans. So Yiggly, if you'd like, you can go $.
But Honora is saying that it's positionally. Like my first one.
Okay.
Has to come in first exile.
Order is important. Gotcha. So that means first one is Black Hoof, second one is Scribe Rock, and third one is Star Splinter. So yeah, Yiggly, if you want, I can do it for you right now. Or, I mean, I suppose I have it set up right here, so we can do that. Or I can just show you how it's done there. There you go. We'll go for yours. So you have Mottled Flask first, Luminous Idol second, and Vengeful Vow third. Okay. So, of course, you can refer back to that list there, but that is the order in which you're taking them as well. So, Mottled Flask first, Luminous Idol second, Vengeful Vow third for Yiggly. For Core, it was Black Hoof, followed by Scribe Rock, and lastly, Star Splinter. Okay. There we go. Those are the randomized talismans. Totally fair and balanced. Totally fair and balanced.
Conduct the rites.
Yeah, we each got. I'd probably say his averagely. I'd probably say is better, but I have a better peak with the Star Splinter.
And Vengeful Vow is very strong.
Mottled Flask does not stack with Shared Tenacity, by the way. So taking that will not stack with your talisman.
And you can still swap out your Exile for something else if you'd like. If you feel like, with that knowledge, you'd rather take someone else with that Mottled Flask. So Yiggly opts for Pamitha. Now Core has to lead off with that Cursed Talisman, which is a tough choice for him. So how does he make that work? It's either going to bring him back... Was it the hoof or was it the heart?
Ignatius.
So that means he cannot pick up the orb on his first exile, which is really tough. So that is basically a purely defensive Ignatius there. And Yiggly opts for the Luminous Idol, so full stamina when he picks up the orb on Tizo there, the imp. And there is the extra presence on Bullfred there with Scribe Rock. Last one for Yiggly is the Vengeful Vow, which will of course have exiles explode when they get banished, and there is certainly a very popular choice to go along with this talisman. And that is, of course, to use a worm. Last one for Core. I believe his talisman here is Star Splinter, the quick throwing talisman. I feel like this might be the first time we've seen a second sap on the Chastity at any one given point in time, because I do not remember seeing this raiment coloration. And it's a quick throwing manly. So here we go. Randomized talismans for both players. And Yiggly snakes the way through with a 20 damage plunge here from Pamitha. No prayer beads for either player, so of course that means that for the most part, whenever possible, they may be trying to throw it in. Because if they do plunge, then they'll be down that character for the next round, and currently Yiggly defenseless here. That is Core's quick throwing sap. Good for 25 damage on that throw. Yiggly now has Pamitha back. Gets rid of the sapling. And gets the orb here. And throws it in quickly for 10 damage. Or loses Ignarius, who remember can't pick up the orb. And with that trapped a little bit here, and does eventually go down. Tizo vanishes too, but here comes Core Sap right on the Pyre's doorstep. But is stopped. Everyone down on Core's side triggers that Numbing Gust, slowing down Yiggly. Now that they've returned, Yiggly can once again sprint, jump, throw, and use other special abilities. Or moving in with the quick throwing sap. Good for 23 this time, slightly less than his maximum of 25. Or dodges that cast with Iggy and then banishes one, but again can't pick up the orb with Ignarius. Bullfred for Core. No time to throw there. Yiggly back with Pamitha, now to Tizo. His throw's intercepted though. Big explosion. Gets rid of the last of Core's exiles, but Bullfred has returned. Oh, and well shielded from that fell swoop explosion. But then Ignarius comes and vanishes, and then series of explosions leaves just Manly standing here, and that is Core's preferred scorer, it would seem. Oh, and sidesteps that, but Yiggly able to intercept the throw. Well shielded again from Core on Bullfred this time. Yiggly with it back here. Pamitha plunges for 20. Tizo. Explodes and gets exploded upon. But Yiggly defenseless means time for Core to throw this one in for 25. But that slightly lower than maximum damage throw that we saw Core have a few rounds ago is now looking a little bit more significant. Because that is the difference between Core being able to finish this with one score and not being able to do so. Technically, Ignarius, if he could score with him, would have enough damage to finish it in one score. It is technically possible if Ignarius is hanging out on top of the Pyre and immediately receives the orb, but it's unlikely. But Core goes the throwing route this time instead with one of the saps, and 25 damage here. That is what I was referring to. It means if Core had gotten the full damage on that other throw, that would have been enough. But not so here. That 2 damage that he missed is the 2 higher life that we currently see Yiggly holding on to. Yiggly sidesteps that cast. Ignarius down. Hamatha trying to get rid of some of the sap, but she goes down, actually. And Manly has been dangerous for Core, but here comes Gilman. Trying to sneak his way through, but he's blocked. Explodes upon one of the defenders, but Core does have a sap in an offensive position. No longer, as Manly is banished, and now suddenly, Core defenseless, although the orb is currently standing within the safety of the confines of one of his saplings. Big explosion there from Gilman, but with that numbing gust, it has protected Core on several occasions already, this potentially being one of them, but still time for Yiggly to plunge here with Hamatha. And that drops Core down to 30, which means Yiggly now needs 2 scores to Core's 1. Unless Core took Rekindling, which is possible, but no one to defend the Pyre right now, so Core walks this one in for the winning plunge. Oh, and that song nearly stopped at the perfect time, but alas, well played, you two.
Until the next rite.
Let's head on back. Alright, no worries, Yiggly. Thanks for stopping by. Good to have you. Good to have you. That does mean we'll be looking for someone else to hop in here to face off against Core. Is there anyone who would like to do so? At this point, I think we're probably far enough along that, of course, ideally we'd get someone new in, someone who's not yet played today, but if we would like to, I think it's fair to say we can get someone who's already played today, as long as they've not yet gone against Core, just get a new matchup. So do we have anyone in chat who's not yet played today who would like to do so? If so, this is a great time for us to get you in here. Otherwise, as I said, I think we could, at this point, justify getting someone back in who's already played earlier today. In the absence of other people. So, any takers? Iroda can play a few? Awesome! Let's get you in. Let's get you in, then. I feel like it's been a little while. Am I making that up? Or is it just in general that we don't get Iroda in quite as often as we once did? Perhaps? Perhaps? Let's see. Are you showing up on the Steams? You are now. There you are. Invite sent. Perfect. In the meantime, let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see between Core and iRotor. It will, of course, be iRotor's first match of the night, so perhaps we give him a little bit of time to warm up first. Let's see. Remote play, in theory, says iRotor is player 1 and Core is player 2. We will see if that is actually the case. Busy with your thesis? Well, good luck on that. I hope it's going well. iRotor, withdrawn for you today? And Core, would you like to switch back to the Pyre Hearts? You want to stay on Chastity? What's your preference?
I'll stay on Chastity, it's fine.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Not seeing any requests from chat at the moment, so maybe we do give iRotor a little bit of a chance to warm up here. And just to confirm, does it look as if iRotor is player 1 here and Core is still player 2? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm still player 2.
Okay, perfect. In that case, let's get started.
The withdrawn.
Oh, and is this our first vote of the day? I think it is. I think it is.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Unreal. You just can't make this kind of stuff up. And then you love to see both players leading things off on the boat with a demon. And it's an extra presence Sacred Bond Lendl in the second spot for iRotor. Core goes for the extra rekindling on the Talisman. Then a quick throwing Palmus for iRotor in the last spot. And the last one for Core is an exploding Rupee. So here we go, our first one of the night between iRotor and Core. Ooh, iRotor just quick enough to sidestep that cast. But the exploding Rupee takes out Vids. Core defenseless. iRotor gets some friends back here. And shoulder smashes one defender, then gets taken out by the second. Rupee speeds ahead. Oh! Hops over that puddle and into the Pyre for 20. That was a lot of airtime there from Vids, setting up a very dramatic banishment. No one back to defend here for Core, so time for Vids to throw this one in for 30. Saw that, Core. I saw that. Ooh, extra airtime for Core that time round. With Ignarius, and here he is once again. Knocks back a defender. Ooh, and finds a way through for a 30 damage plunge.
The Chastity's pyre now burns relatively brighter.
High Rotor brings back Vispaleth. Here she is. And plunges here for 30. Means Vispaleth is not in for this round, though. No prayer beads on her. Fair bit of airtime there for Core, but gets shoulder smashed by Lendl. So now, without Vispaleth, Iroder would need to manufacture some offense out of either Lendl or Palmus, and this could be his chance to make that happen. There it is. Throwing it in for 25. And so we'll be back to full strength here. Whoa, well, if only Vispaleth had the orb there. That could have been a pretty sweet slam dunk. Here she is. I suppose that one will do.
No more than a lick of flame remains.
And it would normally mean, whoa, big airtime from Core there, plunging for 30. But Iroder's still in the driver's seat here, as one more score would normally be enough to finish Core off, except we did see Core take some rekindling. So we will see a second light bar. Oh, and the last second stun from Iroder, or from Core on Iroder. Looks like Iroder was in there. Here it is. It's 30 rekindling on the second light bar. Ooh, that's a big jump from Core. Not enough to get the job done, though. Iroder once again is Vispaleth-less in this round. Last time we saw in that situation, he was able to score with Palmus, but is now defenseless. So time for Core to throw this one for 25. And that drops Iroder down to 30, which means Ignarius does have enough damage for Core here. I don't recall as to whether we saw Iroder take any additional rekindling here. Whoa! Well, Vispaleth certainly sprouted wings there. Perhaps not the best time for that to happen, though. There is the rekindling. It's 10 for Iroder. So both players now on their second life bars. Core's was a little bit bigger than Iroder's was. But still, both players in one plunge range. At least in Iroder's case, as long as it is Vispaleth. And there it is!
Okay.
The withdrawn prevail. A narrow victory, yet nonetheless commendable.
GG.
The rite is ended.
Alright, let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one between Iroder and Core. Good
Don't
riddance.
give me the board. I want to play cars.
Okay.
I play Karanbo. What's stopping you?
Alright, hold on. That is a TariqBot request, so we will go in-game music off and get TariqBot back here.
Why do I not hear you?
Hear me?
Anyone, for that matter.
I don't know. Don't have anything set up in Discord on my end that would be out of the ordinary. Doesn't look like you've deafened yourself. That's strange. Oh. So I tried to loop the song. That's not the way that works. That's not the way that works.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Wait, what? Customize off? But this is not a customize off. This is players choose. Okay, so it's basically just a Exiles, Masteries, Talismans, all built into one. An anti-pick. Well, that covers just about everything because we already have a song and we already have an arena. So let's get started then.
The withdrawn shall now face the chastity. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So they can take whatever they'd like here. Pyre had expressed some interest in playing a Cur, or multiple, potentially. We'll have to see.
Dalbert.
And it's prayer beads on Dalbert.
Sir Gilman.
Kor goes extra jumping distance on Gilman with the legendary Worm Talisman. Then Imp in the second spot for Iroder. Then Leeching Bertrude for Kor. Pyre finishes off with a little bit of rekindling on the sap there. Then Kor goes for the extra starting Pyre life with Headwind. So here we go. Kor starts things off with a Worm Throw for 11, slightly less than the maximum of 15. Kor wins the race to the orb initially, but that throw will not go. Headwind. To Bertrude. She's banished. Oh, and well dodged/shielded there for my rotor. Almas goes down. Gilman speeds ahead and around, and it's that throw on target. It looked like it might have been a little bit short there. Quick counterattack from my rotor, plunging in for 20 with Dalbert, and I do believe he took prayer beads on Dalbert, so he has returned. Here's Bertrude for Kor. That throw is unblockable. Ooh, but doesn't have enough time to get it off there. Dalbert blocked. And then shoulder smashed by Headwind. One banishment for Iroder. Blocked, but still in there with Dalbert. Now he's banished. Kor. Moving in with a combination of Bertrude and Gilman. Bertrude is banished, though. Gilman does some banishing. Has the orb back here, right in front of the Pyre, and throws it in for 15. Kor trying to move in with Gilman, but he's banished. Now it's Bertrude's turn. She hops in for 30 on this plunge. No prayer beads on her, though. She's now gone for this round. So numbers advantage to Iroder. Oh, narrowly avoided the cast, at least, from Headwind, but then he turns around and shoulder smashes not one, but two of Iroder's characters. Well done on the exploding sapling to get rid of him, though. Gilman down. Headwind has returned, though, and gets Gilman back, no less. Who throws it in for a quick 7. 4. Gilman is stopped. Dalbert. Speeding ahead, but was that technically a shoulder smash? Time for this throw from Kor. Oh, and the leech as well. Not just 30 damage, but 15 Pyre life back for him as well. That means one score may be all that Iroder needs here, or rather that Kor needs here, except that Iroder has at least a little bit of rekindling. So we will see a second life bar. Dalbert's blocked and banished. Kor with the orb back here does have Bertrude next to Iroder's Pyre, but it's Iroder getting the orb and throwing it in for 25 here. As you saw, Core still with a lot of Pyre life here, as although Iroder had scored, Core then proceeded to leech a lot of Pyre life back with his Bertrude scores. Oh, a series of quick banishments there. And Core bringing back some of his exiles with Sacred Bond. Bertrude down, Headwind down. Room perhaps for Dalbert, but he's blocked and banished. Well-placed Exploding Sapling, though. Gets rid of 2, now make it 3. Of Core's exiles. The Iroder back on the orb here with Dalbert. Dalbert is banished. But Iroder retreats with Raji. Now, perhaps room for Dalbert? Oh, sneaks around the other side and in for 20. Throw from Core is short. Counterattack? Iroder goes straight on in here for 20. Bertrude fakes one way, loops around the other, but gets stopped. Dalbert makes it in for 20 here. That drops Iroder, or drops Core rather, down to 45. So 2 scores likely what it would take Iroder here. Same could likely be said for Core, as Iroder does have some rekindling, but there is 1 score, dropping Core down to 25, which means at least a full damage Palmas score would be sufficient. Anything else from Iroder would still take 2 more scores, though. So does that mean that Iroder tries to make a point of pushing forward here with Palmas? That was seemingly the idea there. Core's throw, trying to whittle away a little bit, just needs 7 damage to trigger that rekindling. Oh, and nearly Iroder able to sneak through, but the shoulder smash gets rid of Dalbert. Core does make it in here, and does trigger the rekindling, so now Iroder onto that second life bar, and it is just 10. But no Bertrude here for Core in this round. So advantage to Core in that way, except Core also got the leech there. So Iroder plunges for 20, but Iroder still needs 20 points here. Core back on full power here with all of his exiles returned in this round. But Dalbert will do, as Iroder just needs 20 damage here, so doesn't need to rely on Palmas to get the job done. And we have certainly seen Iroder's preference has typically been to push forward with Dalbert, although there was a quick throw from Palmas, and maybe this is his chance. He walks it in
GG.
for the winning plunge.
Good game.
Although their adversaries put up quite an effort,
GG.
the rite is complete.
Well played indeed. Don't call it a comeback.
I'll just do 2 more though, otherwise I'm staying up too long again.
Alright, no worries. Okay, so in that case, let us know, chat, if there's anything else we'd like to see between these two, because sounds like we may only have a few more matches between them. And just to check in chat, is there anyone else who would like to hop in once Iroder swaps out, or could this potentially even be our final matchup of the night? Be a little early in that case, but do we have anyone who'd like to jump in after Iroder is done? Oh, okay, more Tariq bot stuff here. Hold on. This time, it is Bastion, if I could spell it correctly. And Or could potentially hop in after. Okay, let's see. Let's reset ourselves. We have a song. Is there anything else we'd like?
That is true.
Was a lot of worm scores and a lot of cur scores in that match.
Worm has a cool class anyway.
Alright, not seeing any other requests here, so why don't we get this one started then? Alright, and we are on the book.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
Can't deliver him that much satisfaction. That simply will not do. Alright, now Rotor leads off with Palmas here. A Nor with Worms versus Core with Slow Exiles, maybe? Maybe? Hamatha in the first spot for Core. Reminder to hydrate, everyone. Don't forget. Power casting Lendl for Iroder there. Then it's a Vengeful Vow, Exploding Gilman in that spot for Core. And Barrick, what did you do? That was a hydration reminder? Sure it was. Sure it was. And it was one that you highlighted as well. Oh, I wish I saw it for the brief moment before Nightbot swooped in. Well, here we go. Was a Cur in the last spot for Iroder, and an Imp in the last spot for Core. Here is Lendl. Nearly snuck under the defender that time. And now it's Core. Through the portal he goes. And can't quite get the throw off in time. Hamatha applying some pressure here for Core and following it up for 20 damage plunge. Tizo, he's stopped. Here's our Rotor. Banished. Tizo versus Lendl. Lendl wins out. That's a tale for the storybooks. Dalbert. Banished. War with some time here. At the moment, Iroder defenseless. Sakura, oh, had Siege Chance active as well. So 25 damage on that throw. A little harp push action from Core with Hamatha. Oh, but causing some serious trouble there with his Imp. Thought about setting up a portal, but decided, you know what? Maybe I'll just go for the score here and throws it in for 11. Hamatha tries to brute force her way through, but not this time. Lendl stopped. Exploding Sapling takes out Gilman. Hamatha switches in to T-Zone, sets up a dangerous portal, but that attack at least was stopped. Dalbert, he's banished. Or through that dangerous portal, sets up the throw and does get it off for the full 15 here. Ametha, blocked, banished. Iroder, ooh, sidesteps. Just barely with his sap, but the throw is intercepted. Core on the counter. His throw was going to be short, so instead, he opts to plunge for 15, and that drops Iroder down to 14. So one more of those, of course, could be all the Core needs. Then again, we do, of course, see Palmas, a sap, on Iroder's side, so we may see some rekindling. And there it is. It's 10. So one more score now, likely all Core needs. Will it be with the Imp? Oh, it's just 8. Iroder holding on with 2. Four. Any damage will do. Could this be it? Not quite. Stopped just shy of the Pyre, and that portal is, of course, extremely dangerous. The throw makes it in for Iroder for 25. Ametha looking for an opening. But that wasn't it. Down goes Palmas. 4. Gets sniped by the power casting Lendl. 4 looking for that opening. Could this be it? No. That attack was stopped as well. Dalbert, oh, pushed away from the Pyre and nearly, through an effort of sheer will, found a way through, but this throw is unblockable. And so that will seal the deal.
Their adversaries must be crying tears of shame. Thus end this night's proceedings.
GG. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
Alright, and let us know, chat, if there's anything you'd like to see for the next one. I think Iroder was saying this next one might be his last, so if there is anything you'd like to see between these two, then this might be your last chance to make that happen. Oh, hold on. Oh, I thought that was the song ending. I was going to say, perfect timing? No. It is not. But is there a different song, perhaps, that we'd like to have? Didn't get banned for the caps that time. Customize off, says Enberic. Alright. We can certainly do that. Is there a song we'd like to have, or an arena? Or will that be all Dread Design? Okay, well that's in-game. Let's turn it on, and then let's turn on the in-game music here. Alright. Need some chaos, just haven't had enough this RITE Night. Fair enough. Totally understand. I wonder where you're coming from with that one, Cacao. Can't possibly imagine what you're referring to. Alright, well, let's get this one started. Of course, customize turned off means randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans won't even know what they are in advance, just gonna get thrown straight into the action. So let's see what we end up with here.
The withdrawn.
It's the Fall of Solium.
The chastity.
For Iroder, it looks like double Nomad and Harp. Yes. For Core, it is 1 Savage, 1 Nomad, and 1 Harp. So actually quite similar between the two teams, at least in terms of classes. Of course, we'll have to see Masteries and Talismans, how those stack up. We saw a Shoulder Smash from Snadra. Stowaway has infinite stamina. We know that much. She just won't stop running. Soxiana finds her way through for 20.
Chastity's flame.
And no prayer beads on her. Did we see Iroder have the talisman that gives 10 damage at the beginning of the match? Black Hoof on Tamitha for Core. I mean, there's always Black Hoof, isn't there? There always has to be a cursed talisman in a customized off match, and it is usually Black Hoof. Luminous Idol on Snadra. Perhaps not Core's preferred recipient of that talisman. If he could switch those around, give Luminous Idol to Tamitha and give the Black Hoof to Snadra instead, he would probably take that. But here's a stowaway once again, and no salute for her. So she cannot teleport to the orb. Using that infinite stamina though, Iroda tries to snipe her, but cannot do so before she gets a throw off here for 20. Big cast from Lendl. He goes down. Winged Fury from Tamitha gives her some extra speed, but then again, she can't do much with that speed because she can't pick up the orb. Stowaway throw. Good for 18, slightly less than her maximum of 20. Luminous Idol again on Snadra, giving her the full stamina when she picks up the orb, but not enough for her to prevent the banishment. Sacred Bond for Iroda means he can bring back his teammates when he steps on their portraits there, like so. Lendl. Oh no! Over to the other Nomad. Headwind plunging for 20 here. No prayer beads on him, so he's gone for this round. Down goes Lendl. Ooh, an elusive maneuver there from the stowaway. Gives her enough time for a 20 damage throw here. Lendl, cornered. Snadra for core. Just trying to throw that orb quickly and pick it back up to replenish her stamina. Just something you tend to see from the Harps. They do it rather efficiently. Less common of a choice with the Nomads, though. Speaking of Nomads, Headwind and, well, the Harps moving in here as well. That was a 20 damage Zaxiana plunge. Snadra picks up her throw, gets a stamina back, and makes it easier for her to sprint to the other side, and she gets 15 damage on that throw. Ooh, Snadra just barely avoids banishment there as well. Down she goes, though. Iroda blocked. Loses Zaxiana. Stowaway for core. Takes one way, goes the other. Just enough room for the throw. Once again, has to cut it a little bit short here. It's 14, but it does drop Iroda low enough. Then one more score from core, maybe all he needs. And, oh, Iroda's throw is intercepted. Banishes one defender, though. Trying to get a throw off, and does, and it's 11. That is key, because now just getting core to 20 or lower means one score is all that Iroda needs here as well. So it is functionally a sudden death match, unless someone has some unexpected rekindling. So anything will do here for either player. No salutes on Zaxiana for Iroda. He brings her back here, and brings back Lendl. An opportunity, perhaps. There it is, the winning plunge from Zaxiana.
Black of heart, seriously.
I know, right? I'm so sad.
In the first spot as well, wasn't it?
I know. It was
Second.
like second spot.
Not my fossil.
Okay. Not as...
My Luminous Idol Nomad was playing pretty good.
No, you made that work.
I had a lot of stamina on the other ones. I just... Yeah, interesting. Dark Figure was kind
It's a stamina composition.
Yeah.
All
Thanks
right.
for game.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Iroda. Good to have you. As always, have a good night. And that does mean we're looking for someone to jump in here to take Iroda's spot. Is there anyone in chat who would like to do so? As I was saying before, I think we're certainly late enough in the RITE NITE at this point that we can get someone in who's already played before. Ideally, we'd love to get someone in who's not yet played today, but if there are no such individuals, then we could perhaps go back to someone who has already played earlier. So let us know if there is anyone who would like to jump in. Anyone who would like to face off against Core here? Again, I think it's fine if we get someone who's already played today if necessary. I think we are far enough along that that's okay. And in that case, yeah, not seeing anyone volunteering who has not yet played today, so I suppose, in the absence of such an individual, we could bring in a Nor here. Need someone to bring her down to earth? Whoa. Not sure where that's coming from. But I suppose we can get you in here, Nor. Alright, and Nor, would you like to go Nightwings? Unless Core wants to switch over to Pyre Hearts?
No, I'll save Chastity.
Okay, cool. Reader's Choice for Exiles, okay. Let me just double check that Anor has controls. She does, okay, cool. Anything else we'd like for this one? Or will that be all? Looks like it may be. So let's get this one started then.
The Nightwings shall now face the Chastity.
During a rite, though, maybe that's a different story.
Who shall conduct the rites?
See, look. Everyone is friends with one another. Everything is fine. It's all hunky-dory.
It's not working. Why isn't it working?
Hold on. Let's see, any answers from remote play? It says you're player 2.
Can you look at Pyre?
That seems fine.
Okay, so I'm still like player 2 because I can do the bumpers, but I can't. Okay. it's
There you
fine
go.
now.
Okay. Yeah, that still feel like they're. If it were not for this right here, it seemed like it was heading in that direction where it might have been you both controlling the same team. Perhaps we have avoided that fate, though, this time. So it's Stowaway first for Nor, Barker first for Core. Then Weblanthorn Tizo for Nor. Then Speedy Jody for Core. Speedy Pamitha for Nor. and Web Lanthorn Raji in the last spot for Core. So here we go. Anor versus Core here, and it is perhaps, as we suspected might be the case. Core, are you controlling the Nightwings as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. In that case, why don't we pause? I will uninvite and re-invite you, Core, I think. Might be the best way to go about doing this.
It was fun killing her exiles.
How dare you? I did, in fact, notice that you sent all of them to their immediate doom. Incredibly rude. And Anor's right, she called it. She did call it. Alright, so I'll give you guys a countdown, assuming that that works there. So we'll go 3.
This is on player 1 and 2. Hold up.
Oh. Okay.
It should be good.
Hopefully this will work for us now. Alright, so I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and on go we'll hit resume. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. Much better. Barker for Core. Stopped. Hamatha for Anor. Out of stamina, and she goes down. That's Speedy Jody. Vanishes 2, but goes down. Core actually sneaks in to get that orb back. Anor gets it back to Hamatha, and she nearly harp pushes her way through. Stowaway teleports the orb, but does not have it anymore. Core instead going through that portal, which is right next to Anor's Pyre. Not enough time to get the full damage out of it, but it's 19 on that throw. Stowaway gets the angle on the throw. It followed it up, possibly with a teleport to the orb, but I'm pretty sure it's still qualified as a throw. So we see the Stowaway here. Core now with Parker. His throw's banished, but that did not take anyone out here, and Anor's back on it with Hamatha. Tries to harp push her way through, but fell a little bit short. Tries to teleport to the orb, but Jody gets rid of the Stowaway. Here is Jody. Anor takes her out. Oh, and down goes 2 of Anor's exiles here. That gives Core a little more maneuverability space. Oh, some black magic jumps there from the Stowaway, but she ends up in the lava. Down goes Jody. Hamatha. She's vanished. And Anor currently defenseless until Hamatha returns. Here she is. Against Jody. Jody is blocked, but knocks back the defenders and creates a little bit of room here, just enough to make it in for this 30 damage plunge that drops Anor down to 31. No Jody in this round, but of course with Jody, Core will be able to drop Anor down to 1 Pyre life. That's 20 damage on that throw from Anor. Now that Jody has returned, that is of course Core's most dangerous weapon here. Would still take 2 scores, though. I don't believe he took Brazen Manor. Jody turns around, banishes 1 defender. Anor has it back, though. Jody still on the attack, though. Anor hides over the lava, and in doing so, is able to avoid Jody. Or moving in with his imp. Anor intercepts and is on the counter. Oh, but the Stowaway overjumps and into the lava she goes. Core has a portal right next to Anor's Pyre. Except Anor has the orb and throws it in for 20. Oh, Stowaway, not enough room there for her. Jody tries going through the portal for infinite stamina. She's super speedy. But is that enough? Not this time. Anor with the orb back here with the Stowaway. Gives it up to Hamatha. She's banished. Stowaway banishes and gets banished. That leaves Tizo back defensively for Anor. While Core attacks with Jody. She's blocked. Knocks back the defender. But Anor gets the Stowaway back and gets the orb with her, but she gets banished quickly. Barker for Core. He's thinking about which direction he wants to go. Remember, he banishes with the throw, so he gets rid of Hamatha there. And that leaves just Tizo at the moment for Anor. She tries to stall as much as possible, but Core able to plunge there with Parker, and that drops Anor down to 11, which means now Core can finish the job with any of his exiles here. But it's Anor still on the attack here for 20. That via a stowaway throw. Ametha. Stowaway. Ametha one way, stowaway the other. Who will it be here? The stowaway. Good for 20. Now Anor needs 2 scores to Core's 1. Stowaway teleports to the orb. Gives it up to Pamitha. Stowaway one way. Pamitha the other. Stowaway down. Pamitha has enough time to make it through. Drops Core down to 15, and it is now a sudden death match. 1 score for either player would do the trick. Will it be the stowaway? She stopped. Anor is down to just 2 exiles after having plunged with Pamitha. So advantage Core in that way, and the banishing throw sets up the winning plunge. GG.
Or you could say they managed to avoid defeat. The rite is ended.
Lutz shooting star, absolutely.
Until the stars align.
All right, well, let us know, chat, if there's anything else you'd like to see for the next one. Changing the current meta 1 game at a time. What, with the banishing throws specifically? Is that what you have in mind?
And the explosive temper.
Mm-hmm.
Because it did play a factor. I think. Well, maybe. Maybe once, I think. I mean, I might have had the line where I would have killed you anyway, but it did technically banish someone. Yeah, there was one time I killed your 2 exiles at the beginning, and I got a score off of it.
But then the question is, was that more valuable than the other master you could have taken instead of the explosive temper? Who knows? Who knows? But as I said, let us know if there's anything in particular we'd like to see for this next one. But not seeing any requests here, so in the absence of a last-second request, we can always, of course, just have them take whatever they'd like. So why don't we do that?
The night wings.
And it's at the spring.
The chastity. Welcome.
And no requests,
Who shall conduct the rites?
so you are free to take whatever you'd like here. Anor goes Speedy Bertrude. Four chooses Power Casting Snadra. Anor goes for Webbed Lanthorn Tizo. For Core, it's a quick Ignarius. And a stunning Titan Tooth Raji in the last spot for Nor. Kind of withdrawn setup. Yeah, now that you mention it. It's just a little coincidence, apparently, but Webbed Lanthorn Messenger for the last spot for Core. And here we go. Bertrude, she goes down. Here's Snadra hopping over one defender. And into the Pyre for 20. Bertrude, cornered. Double banishment there. Anor through the portal. But Core was unfazed. Still stopped Bertrude. That leaves just Raji back defensively. And Core trying a little reverse psychology there. Am I throwing? Am I plunging? A little bit of both. One, the other, neither. But got stopped. Here's Anor on the attack, and that might have been with the help of the stun, setting up a 25 damage plunge there from Raji. And 20 damage plus 10 leech coming from Snadra's final left side mastery there for Core. Core on the throw. Then changes his mind. But sets up a dangerous portal there. Core defenseless momentarily though. And enough time for Nor to plunge in here with a huge Crone Leap. No prayer beads on Bertrude though, so she's gone now. Snadra banished. Nor through her portal. Blocked. Now, Imp and Imp versus Imp. Snadra. Trying to change the equation. But Shoulder Smash is one defender. Gets stunned in the process, and that will give Anor enough time to get at least one defender back. But not enough time for that defender to stop Snadra. So she plunges for 20, and once again leeches 10 Pyre Life back for Core. Bertrude. Trying to find a way around Ignarius, but can't make it happen. Ignarius. Thinking about the portal. Or setting up a more dangerous portal now with Ignarius, but that's still not enough. And that is a tough spot for Nor to get the orb without accidentally going through her portal. Can she make it happen? She can. Raji stuns the defender. So that leaves time for Nor to throw this one in for 25. Bertrude down to the Snadra power cast. Nor trying to sidestep or jump over that power cast once again from Snadra, but Snadra, enough time to go for 14 here on that throw, and that means 7 leech on that occasion. No defenders remaining here, so time for Core for full damage, and that will be enough to take the win.
The chastity prevail. Most excellently
GG.
done this time,
Good game.
I must admit. The rite is done.
All right, well played. Let's head on back.
Until the stars align.
All right. Let us know, chat, if there's anything else we'd like to see for the next one. Oh! Well, Nor turns customize off here. So that, of course, means randomize exiles, masteries, and talismans. Maybe saps, who knows? Could still do a song. Could still do an arena, maybe not. Maybe worms. Maybe not. And on, and on, and on, and on. Butterfly. Okay, well, maybe that'll influence what ends up happening here. We'll have to see. Okay. Let's jump in.
The Night Wings shall take on the chastity.
Okay, what do we have? Anor does have a sap, an imp and a cur. For Core, it is also a sap, also a cur, but a demon in the last spot. So, which curse talismans do we think people have this time? Parker. Volfred. It's a Volfred, no less, for Anor. The preferred sap. Oh, and she jumps in here for 20. Okay, so she is at least the first right side mastery on Barker, and no prayer beads on him. Explosive Temper on Dalbert for Core. See what else we can learn about their team compositions here. Looks like no Celestial Spike on Jody. Messenger Imp making moves. Does he have portals? He does not. Oh, so he's all left side, that means. Which makes for a little bit more of an offensive imp in that case. It might be why we'll see, on a few occasions, Anor's already tried to make some moves with him. Anor trapped in a corner here, though. And with no nutrition stick, harder to get out of there. No numbing gust, so it's not like Anor's all the way down on the left side. That is a huge implosion. And from some distances, those sap throws are unblockable. That might be the case there.
A show of strength from the Night Wings' opponents.
Ooh, Dalbert just enough to avoid the banishment there. Oh, but well banished from Core. Explosive Temper on Anor's Cur as well. Ooh, 23 damage on that plunge. That would suggest Core is getting some extra damage from something else.
Second wind.
Oh, and Core. The series of banishments giving lots of time and space for an uncontested 30 damage throw from his demon. And that drops Anor down to 22. Now, of course, both players have saps, and we've established that they may very well have some rekindling here. In fact, I think Anor is guaranteed to have at least 10. So we've seen she does not have the numbing gust. Here's Messenger Imp. Oh, and he nearly snuck in there around the defenders. But oh, and the explosive temper paying off that time for sure. Volfred rushed down.
Unclaimed again.
We're trying to move in here with Jody.
Quite the close call.
Parker gets sniped, but Anor, meanwhile, was thinking about moving in and can move in with her imp. And as we said, 25 damage because that is an all left side imp. Ooh, and Core nearly had some room there from his cur, but not quite. Anor now on the counterattack. Anor is impless in this round after having plunged with Messenger Imp in the previous round, of course. Can she still find a way to make it work while one exile down?
Bad boy, Barker.
Avoids one cast and maybe waiting for Barker to return. Here he is. Stamina's back. Not for long. So he goes down. Anor retreats again. Waiting for those reinforcements. Here they are. Barker quickly banished once again. Barker, his turn. Well shielded. Barker blocks and now banished, or at least moving forward with the saplings. A core on the attack. Wolfred knocked back and dispossessed. We're now on the orb here. Sap one side, Kerr the other. We're hiding behind this, safety of the sapling, and look at that, the way the cast bounced back and got rid of both of Anora's defenders, and it's 50 rekindling. It's huge on the second life bar. Four. Thinking about the throw, and yeah, we saw some extra damage there. Might be reduced hope in order to get extra damage, because otherwise it's pretty unusual to get extra damage on both throws and plunges. Or no, we did see a throw before that had the extra damage from core. So it may be a specific throwing damage talisman. Oh, and enough time there for 17 damage on that throw from core. And Or shields off that cast and stops Stalbert. The saplings put in very similar locations. Messenger Imp shielded, but now banished. Now Barker shielded. Make that shielded twice. Blocked on his scoring attempt, though. Gets rid of one defender. Gets the orb back. Oh, but goes down here. Anor sapling placed right next to Core's Pyre. And Anor over to Volfred. And she has extra damage on Volfred. What? 33 on that throw. Where did that come from? And that means Anor may be able to finish this one with one score. Don't know if Core has any rekindling. He may. Anor moving in with Messenger Imp. He's blocked, but has it back. Banished here. Wolfred returns, as does Barker. That was Jody banished there, but a big double banishment with explosive temper from Core. Nor into the other corner, slowing things down, and when you get reinforcements, she plunges here for 20, and that drops Core down to just 2. We've not yet seen what, if any, rekindling Core may have, though. Anor is on her second life bar. So does Core have a second set of Pyre life here that we've yet to see? Core, patient with his attack. Now making a move. Barker is stopped. Anor defenseless momentarily. But now Messenger Imp has returned. Oh, except Core sneaks in to get the orb back. Quick recovery from Messenger Imp, though. That's a dangerous spot for that sapling, and Core with enough time and space to get an 18 damage throw off here. That drops an order to 15, which means one score may be all that Core needs here. Core trying to move in here with Jody. She's blocked and banished. Takes out one of the defenders. Anor. Her imp goes down. Barker is back, though. Wolfred. Now, of course, just about any damage for Anor. Even a extremely quick throw would be enough to at least check if Core has rekindling. If he does, of course, we've yet to see it. Anor with her imp. Trying to go around, nearly found a way through there. Jody for Core. Blocks. but still in it here. Honor does have it back and is now trying to move in on the attack, but Core meanwhile banishes 2 of Honor's characters. No one back to defend. Oh, and Core with the BM does have Brazen Manor, not that it matters, and he paid the price for it. Did not have enough time to pull off that combo. You just hate to see it, kids. Honor back at full strength. Wolfred goes down. Barker goes one way. Messenger Imp goes the other. What? I'm not entirely sure. Was that a throw? But it does trigger the rekindling. It is 10 in the case of Core. And so now it is a sudden death match. We have confirmed what, if any, rekindling Core may have. It is not 50, which means just about anything will do for Honor still at this point. Any of her exiles could have enough damage. Dalbert versus Messenger Imp. Dalbert down. Honor moving in with Barker. Can banish with the throws. Jody. Blocked. Honor has it back. Barker down. Honor perhaps waiting to see if she can get some more reinforcements here. And has at least gotten some. Full strength at this point. Barker one side, Messenger Imp the other. Barker going the throwing route, banishes one defender. But doesn't have enough time to run in for the rebound. Jody. Banished. Messenger Imp. He goes down. Core, oh, nearly found enough time and space to snake his way through there with a triple hopping cur. But no such luck. Honor with just Wolfred right now. Here's Barker. Trying to banish one defender with the throw. Well shielded. But now Barker cornered and banished. Or moving in with Jody. Huge and explosion, although Jody jumps over it to avoid getting banished. Blocks this time. Now banished by Wolfred. Wolfred. Over to Barker. Back to Wolfred. Wolfred, he gets sniped. Honor defenseless momentarily gets her imp back, though. Core can't sneak through. Barker stopped. Jody. Blocked. Banished. Messenger Imp. He's banished. Wolfred is as well. That leaves just Barker for Honor. He's pinned in a corner. Banished there. But Honor gets Messenger Imp back just in the nick of time. Back at full strength now. Wolfred banished. With Barker. Attacking on this side. Banishes a defender. Oh, had the rebound. But momentum took him away from the Pyre. Jody. Wolfred. Back to Barker. Retreats back to the safety of the sapling or not. Messenger Imp just trying to bide some time. Now the counterattack. Barker. Wolfred. Barker banished. Messenger Imp returns. He's blocked. Jody gets rid of him. Orb is loose. Wolfred gets it back. Over into Barker's paws. Jody. Dalbert down. Jody plodding forward. She goes down to the sapling. Core loses Wolfred. Explosive temper curs facing off. Messenger Imp shielded. Gets rid of Jody as well. Messenger Imp thinking about it. Blocked. Banishes one defender. And still over there. But now goes down. Wolfred. That leaves just Volfred on Anora's side, but Messenger Imp does return and takes out the opposing Volfred. Down goes Volfred. Orb happens to fall straight into Jody's hands. She's banished. Parker one way. Messenger Imp the other. Who will it be? Oh, and series of quick banishments there. Leaves just Volfred back for Anor, but quick return from her other exiles means she's now back at full strength. Jody trying to set up the stun to clear out some space. Throw would, of course, be enough, but Anor able to rush it down. Parker, Messenger Imp. Parker banishes, oh, but doesn't have enough time for the rebound. Or loses Dalbert. Jody sniped. That leaves just Volfred back defensively for Core here. Can Nor find a way through? Banishes one. The Core has it back. Oh, Anor had her Kurt next to Core's Pyre, passed it over to him, and throws it in for the winning score.
Extinguished there, but no.
GG.
Thus end this
What a defensive showdown in that last round. What a match.
How long was that last round after I beat him?
That last round was crazy.
until the next right.
Deserved.
I'm not sure anyone was timing that. Also, don't forget, I believe that round started with that play in which Core had the option, the ability to get the winning score, went in for the salute, did not have enough time to pull it off, and Nor vanished, and then eventually...
I shouldn't have completed the salute. I should have passed back and passed forward to cancel it.
Alas. Alas. Explosive Temper and Shooting Star, yeah.
That was no customize. That was a good match.
Yeah, that was a cool one. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. It's starting to get pretty late. Do we either have one more match in which we have be the last one that we take requests from chat, our penultimate match, before we go into our Liberation Rite? Or do we say, I mean, then again, are we really going to be able to do anything better than what we just saw? And just go straight into Liberation Rite from here? What do we think? Basically, can we follow up that previous match with something better? Duff says uno mas. How's it going, Duff? Hope you caught that match there, because that one was pretty crazy. If we are to do one more, is there anything we would like to see request-wise before we get it started? I mean, I hope you caught at least the very end of that one. Duff is choosing Exiles, goes all imps. All imps. On the boat, no less. How utterly brazen. Alright, will that be all? Bit of fun before Liberation. Fair enough. Fair enough. let's get it started.
The Night Wings versus the Chastity. Welcome.
Alright, so all imps.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And as I said before, I think a lot of this is going to come down to how do they manufacture some offense out of what is primarily, or at least most naturally, a more defensively inclined team. Some of that may come from, as we're seeing here, players going all the way down on the left side, increasing what is usually just 15 damage from the imps into 25 damage. And in that case, making some of their imps particularly speedy as well. Nor will do the same here with Messenger Imp, making him a speedy imp too. Then Titan Tooth on Messenger Imp for core means he will stun anyone that he flies into. Nor says she saw it coming and she's ready to match with a Titan Tooth of her own. And then there is our final imp, so here we go with our penultimate rite of the night, and of course, a little bit of boat magic for good measure as well. Series of banishments here, and Anor defenseless at the moment, so Kor goes through his portal that was close to Anor's Pyre, setting up a quick 25 damage plunge here. Kor back on the orb now. Is Tizo-less. After both players now have stunned each other with that Titan Tooth. Kor sneaks under the defender that time for 25. Kor hanging on to the orb next to his own Pyre, gets blocked. And opportunity here for Anor. But Tizo returns for Kor just quickly enough to stop Anor's attack, but once again Anor able to stun Kor and set up what would have been a 25 damage throw, but Kor is just barely finding ways to stop Anor's attacks here. And Kor going through with Raji. He is banished. Anor did have an imp right on top of the Pyre and might have gotten banished, but set up this portal directly on top of Kor's Pyre, and therefore basically an automatic score. Anor thinking about that portal, uses it here. And gets blocked. But now banished. Kor on the attack here. Thinking throw. But mixes it up here. Intercepted. Anor immediately through that portal. Retreats. And then... Wait a second. What? Did Tizo just get wiped from this plane of existence? Did he get dropped right on top of the puddle and therefore got banished?
Wait, go in the portal, go in the portal. What?
Hold on! We have a portal directly in the puddle, which apparently counts as lava? No, but it's a quicker banishment time than lava. Lava is 2 seconds, and that is near instantaneous, the respawn time. It's 1 second? Is it? I think it's 1 second. Is it 6? Wait, which imp is it? Hold on. It's Raji. If Raji goes through... Raji has... No, it's a full respawn.
It's full respawn.
Full respawn. Wow! We have never seen that one before.
Okay, well, I'm gonna score.
Now there's a proper doubting.
There's a little science for you. And Kor sneaks under. for the winning plunge. GG.
Burns with vigor and resolve. Is complete.
Didn't see that one coming. Think it is fair to say nobody saw that one coming.
Until the
Well, that's new.
stars align.
New bug perhaps did in fact just drop. I mean, that's crazy that we've never seen that before. Portal?
Yeah, we'll have to look back and see
In
how
the
they
puddle.
got banished. Cause
Yeah.
we collided midair or something.
Yeah, like I could see
I think
shoulder
we
smash,
collided,
but
like midair at the same time. Like I banished.
I feel like what happened was you collided midair such that Anor's imp fell directly into the puddle, and rather than the usual, oh, you are on top of a puddle, so you're gonna get bounced out, the game just didn't know what to do. So it said, you're inside the puddle, therefore you must get banished. And it happened to be an imp that could create a portal when it got banished, and so it made it so that we could recreate that when we went through the portal. I don't know. I think basically you're not ever supposed to actually step inside of the puddle. It's usually by walking over it, you get basically a free jump over it. But by landing inside of it, Pyre said, nope, no way, must get banished. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. He said maybe there was no way for us to have something more incredible than the previous right before our Liberation Right, but you know, might not have been exactly what we were expecting, but we'll take it. We'll take it. And alas, I think it is, in fact, that time now for us to enter into our Liberation Right protocol here. Pyre is a bugless game. All these things that we're talking about, they're just features. They're just features, okay? But now it is time for our final right of the night, our Liberation Right. So that does mean we'll go to the Fall of Solium, sermon intro on, and we will go with a somewhat rare Chastity version of Never to Return here. No requests from chat. We'll have both players taking their preferred teams to finish things off in style. Let's do it.
I bid you welcome, exiles. You heed the summons to the fall of Solium. Here you shall be tested by your adversary. Only the righteous shall emerge victorious.
I wrote her, no! None of that nonsense, get out of here.
Ready? The chastity, stand ready. Who shall conduct?
Alright, no requests from chat. We'll have both players take whatever they would like to take. I mean, I could see you saying that after what we saw in the previous match, I suppose. Alright, and Anor starts out with a nutrition stick Volfred in the first spot. Whereas Core goes Luminous Idol Zoxiana, so she'll get full stamina whenever she picks up the orb. Then a quick throwing Celestial Spike Meta Jody for Anor. Core goes a Leeching Crone Salute. And Anor finishes with a little bit of Rekindling there, 20 points on Tizo. And Core finishes with a Webbed Lanthorn Imp. Alright, here we go. Our final right of the night, our Liberation Right. Anor on the left representing the Nightwings. Core on the right representing the Chastity. Best of luck to you both. And there it is. GG.
Their adversaries they defeated utterly. Thus ends the liberation rite.
That was, of course, our Liberation Rite, our final run of the night. Thank you, everybody who participated in the rites today. Thank you, everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. All right, and with that, I will duck out of Discord, but I will see you guys next week. All right, let's free them from Steam Remote Play, if they've not already freed themselves. And I'm not quite done with you yet, chat. That was, of course, our final run of the night, our Liberation Rite. Thank you, everybody who participated in the rites today. Thank you, everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. This was, of course, Pyre Community Rite Night, which we are doing every Sunday. If you are interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre and these Rite Nights, then the best way to do so is, of course, by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. That's the place where we're coordinating all this stuff. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights. Our general streaming schedule nowadays is Fridays is Gwent Rogue Mage, the Gwent single-player roguelike game. Saturdays is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Sundays is, of course, Pyre, Rite Night. Then Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch it there as well. Also, still posting the last 1 or 2 videos from our Transistor playthrough, so coming very close to the end of that, as well as some Gwent videos, the Witcher-themed card game, new events for that coming out every week, so lots of stuff for us to check out there, and Thronebreaker as well, the other Gwent campaign, in that case. I think that's about it. And of course, if you haven't done so yet already, you can hit the follow button to get a notification for when I go live. You can also follow me on Twitter at LidsVids. I post everyone live as well, but actually the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids is by joining my own Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.